Good. That voice. All right, ladies, let me see if I can just make this smaller. Let's see if I can hopefully not lose me. Sorry, let me see. View presentation. Okay. I might go sometimes just back to here just in case someone is joining in. You can see my screen, right? Yeah. Yep. Perfect. Okay, so we're on week 2. So that is great. We just have 6 more days to go. So today we're going to focus more on the phase 3 of detoxification. So last week we talked about phase 2 and how the kind of nutrients that our liver needs in order to kind of process all the toxins so they can easily leave our body. But then when they leave, we need to make sure our body is ready for that. So today we're going to focus on certain practices like dry brushing, the castor oil, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what to do at the end of the program and things. I will add to the to the modules, but I wanted to make sure that we talk about that. And also I forgot to add it to the agenda because it was a last minute thing. I did a lot of research this week about one food, chocolate, dark chocolate, because it's something that we really enjoy, has a lot of magnesium. It's a perfect snack to have at the end of the day. But recently it has come out certain brands that they have lied on the amount of heavy metals that they have in their cacao, especially lint. And probably a lot of you, I'm just gonna, just in case someone joins in, a lot of you probably buy lint chocolate because the sea salt lint chocolate is pretty nice, and we all love it. I used to love it, but they have lied because they used to buy their cocoa from Peru, but now they have they now buy their cocoa from Sierra Leone. And that change has meant that their cadmium levels are really big, huge. And so that is a heavy metal, and heavy metals can really affect your liver health big time. And so the more heavy metals, the more toxins your liver has to detox, and it will affect our hormonal health as well. So I'm going to be sharing today some brands that you can find from Singapore. I actually bought a few of them, and one of them is actually pretty good. I'm going to try the other 2 this week. I bought them all, 3 different kinds, and the first one pretty a very good change from lint. So it's not like, oh, it's not as nice, actually pretty good. And they don't have almost any cadmium. I am a member of a page that is Consumer Lab, where I mean, it's a paid subscription, but it's all worth it for me because I can go in there, check for particular products, and they will tell me on a chart exactly how much cadmium of other toxins or nutrients that they have. And for supplements, before I recommend any supplement, I always check there because they will put if the ingredients that they say they have match the actual content of the product. And it will also tell me or recommend me that that is a good brand, is approved, or is not a brand that they approve because of the content or the ingredients or the origin of the ingredients. So I checked all of that, and the dark chocolate options that I'm going to share today are based on the recommendations that I've seen. Okay, so I don't see anybody logging in, so I'm going to continue with the presentation. Ooh, okay. Okay. Right. Let's view. All right. So let's do that. Just very quickly, if anybody wants to share one thing that you have enjoyed and one thing that is hard to follow from this kind of past week meal plan or protocols, does anybody wants to share?
found very hard the turmeric tea.
The turmeric tea. Okay. And something easy?
No, everything is okay.
Oh, everything is okay. Perfect. Good.
Yeah, but the turmeric tea,
Mm.
and my husband also, he's doing it with me, so it's easier.
Okay, perfect.
Both of us, we didn't much enjoy yesterday's meal,
Okay,
the lunch there.
okay. What was the lunch yesterday?
I think it was um, the sweet potato.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
But overall, we can't.
Enjoy. Good. Okay. Anybody else would like to share?
Yes, the recipes for me were nice.
Nice.
So most of the recipes I enjoy. The difficult part is like I need a little bit of protein in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I cannot just be with a tea and something else. I'll be starving.
So
So
it's hard. Hard.
I
Yeah,
had
because
a
your body has protein.
I had a couple of eggs. So I don't know if eggs are okay for
Yeah.
in the
Okay.
morning.
You can adapt it to, to what you need, especially if, if you're not in a weight loss, just looking forward to that, then you can add a little bit more.
Okay.
Or if you're
Okay.
doing more exercise, definitely you can add more of the approved foods or eat
Okay.
frequently. Yeah, yeah. Perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
Virginia, so el agua de coco con espirulina, yes or no? No. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Anybody else is like,
Well,
no.
I forgot about that one. Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
No. So funny because I actually enjoy it. I have it probably every day, not even if when I'm doing a detox, I normally have it in the morning every day. And I'm actually okay with it. I don't know if I'm used to it or maybe I
You're
like
used to it.
its fishy flavor. I don't know. Um, but that's probably me. My husband doesn't like it, so it's not just you, ladies.
I enjoyed it. I actually I'm liking it. And
Good.
but my husband, I gave it to him kind of like by force,
Yeah.
and he had it, and no, he didn't like it. He's like,
Okay.
no, I'm fine with my coconut water. I don't need to
Okay.
put that green thing. He said to me.
Okay, good.
Uh,
Well, if you like it, then it's something that you can actually continue having.
yeah.
It will help with your hair. It will help a lot with your iron levels. It will help to continue giving the nutrients that your liver needs for detoxification. So it supports
Oh,
detoxification.
Okay.
If you don't enjoy it, you can also buy it in tablets. So it's basically the same thing, but it's just compressed into a tablet and you just swallow it with water. So that's something that you can actually do if you don't enjoy it, but you want to continue with the benefits.
I,
Uh,
I was
Okay.
doing the tablet, but not the powder with the coconut water.
yeah,
I have the coconut water, I know, and I can take the tablet with the coconut water, but I don't have I can
not mixed in
have
powder.
the powder with the coconut
Yeah,
water.
then tablet is okay. You can do that too. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Thank you for sharing.
One question,
Um, yeah.
one question. For the other supplements, how long we can take? We can finish the
Yeah.
boxes?
So it depends on the ones. If you're taking like silymarin, that one it would be okay up to 4 weeks. The magnesium you can take as long as you want to. It's gonna help us, ladies, to sleep better and to support your body, reduce cortisol. So it's a good thing to continue taking it. The B complex, I will say if you're not deficient on vitamin B12 or any other, after 4 weeks, you can also stop taking the vitamin B. If you're taking chlorella, that will help us. So we don't need the extra vitamin B after 4 weeks. The omega-3, you can continue taking it as long as you want to. That one also doesn't have an option. If you're taking milk thistle, that is not silymarin, also 4 weeks is enough. Then you can do it 2 or 3 times a year where you can also take it again, but not something to take constantly for months and months. So I would say vitamin B complex and silymarin or milk thistle, just stop after 4 weeks. Okay.
I was not here last week. Will you send me the links of these ones?
Which
The
ones?
the
The
all the
supplements? Don't you have access to to the um to the to the program? Because in the program, if you go to any of the section, let's say you go to the welcome, then you go to on the side where it says protocols. If you click there,
I'll check it later.
okay. Do you see my screen, right?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
no, I see you.
Oh, you see me. You guys don't see the screen?
No.
No.
Ah, okay. Oh, I don't know why. Okay. Maybe I'm not sharing anymore. Share screen. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna share the screen. Okay, I don't know why that came out. Okay, so if you go to when you go to the program, and you see my screen now, right?
Yes.
So okay, so if you go, let's say to the welcome page or any of the others, doesn't matter. And then on the side, you go here where it says the protocol. So you go to the detox and reset, you click there, and then you have some food recommendations like the different teas, and it has the links to where you can buy them. And then if you scroll down a little bit more, then you have the supplement recommendations with the links where you can buy them. So this is good because that way we can go over. So the NAC, just 4 weeks is enough. The Silmarine, 4 weeks. The Basic B, 4 weeks. And then the magnesium, the omega-3, and the ashwagandha you can take as long as you want. So we have 3 that you take for 4 weeks, and then we have 3 that we take, if you want to, you can continue taking them. There is no side effects or any contraindication. Okay. You can take NAC, is great to support cellular health. It's fantastic. So you can take that twice a year or 3 times a year. The same with Silmarine. You can take it 2 or 3 times a year. So you can say, I'm going to take it in January, June, and in November, for example. That is okay because you're supporting your body quite well by doing that. Even if you don't do with food the detox, you can take those supplements. And then magnesium glycinate, omega-3 or ashwagandha, you can carry on. You might want to take a break of a week or 2, maybe in between orders, but it's up to you. Okay.
It's blue.
All right. Any other questions about that?
I'm okay.
Perfect. Okay, so let's carry on. I'm just gonna go to the main. Let me see if I can change that. Put it here. All right, let's continue then.
Picture my phone, yes. I'm having a presentation. I'm gonna put it.
Okay, so let's go back. So let's start. So this week we're gonna focus, as I say, on the phase 3 of your detoxification process. So how are we supporting that? So we know what we're eating is supporting our liver. The nutrients are helping us to get rid of the toxins. So now the lymphatic system is what we need to support. You see my screen, right? The picture with the lymphatic system. Yeah. Can I have someone can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Because before it wasn't, so I want to make sure that I'm not going through the slides without sharing. Okay, so the lymphatic system is like a network of tissues, vessels and organs, and that include the lymph nodes that, the tonsils. That's part of it. The spleen, the thymus, the tonsil, everything, those work together to maintain the fluid balance and support the immune system. So, for example, when we get sick, that's why the tonsils get all big. It's because they are trapping the toxins, they're trapping the bacteria, the viruses, and and then they get rid of it by going through, a system of vessels. Now, what it does, they collect the excess fluid from all the body tissues, and then they return it to the bloodstream, so it prevents the swelling and maintains, the proper volume of blood and pressure. So that's why, for example, if you see someone that is really sick, or someone's going through chemo, or through a very, elderly person, you see how their legs are very swollen, or different parts of their body is very swollen. And that is telling us that their lymphatic system is not working well. And this is one of the points where we know that their bodies are not working well, because the lymphatic system is not working. So what we need to make sure is to make sure that that lymphatic system is being properly supported, so we can actually get rid of that fluid. Then the immune function that it has, the lymphatic system helps defend the body against all the infections that we could be exposed to. It transports the viruses and the bacteria, and filters the lymphs, like the tonsils, because what it does is like kind of helps to get the white blood cells that that help to fight the pathogens. So that is something that they do. They help to transport the white blood cells to go quickly and fight the bacteria. Then it does the waste removal. That is the part that the liver is supports the liver. It kind of helps to remove the cellular waste, the toxins, and any unwanted material from the tissues. So that supports more the overall detoxification and health. And then the last part is the fat absorption. So the lymphatic system plays a very important role in absorbing fats, like in the fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and K from the digestive system. So sometimes when we don't absorb vitamins like vitamin D, like a lot of people are deficient in vitamin D, sometimes it could be because the lymphatic system is not working as well as we want it. And it doesn't have to do anything about, how exposed you are to vitamin D. So they basically transport the dietary fats to the bloodstream. So that helps with that proper nutritional distribution. So that is crucial. So that's one of the things that it does. You have this week in the modules, you have, and also in the protocol that I just shared with you, information on how to do the proper lymphatic massage. It's what we call a dry brushing. And you have dry brushes that you use for the body, and then you have a dry brush that you use for the face. And if you watch the videos, it's very important because you want to make sure that the brushing is happening always moving towards the heart. So from the face downwards and from the legs upwards, and always directional to the heart. And that, by doing that every day, you're really helping your lymphatic system to get rid of those toxins much faster, and to avoid water retention or liquid retention. I do it every morning when I remember. It's most days. But, when I wake up, I go to the bathroom, I just get some coconut oil in my mouth, because I like using coconut oil for better cleaning of your teeth. And then I brush my teeth as normal. And while I'm doing that, I just get my brush, and 2 minutes, I just brush my legs, and I just brush a little bit of my belly. I brush a little bit under pit. Then I brush a little bit of my face with a small brush. You will see that there are two different brushes you can buy in Amazon. And that's it. And then I brush my teeth, I do my stuff, and that's it. So it doesn't have to take too long. But it actually helps a lot your body to get rid of that excess waste, and to absorb your vitamins better, to get rid of your fluid, and support your immune system. Has anybody started? I know those that have done this with me before. You probably already had the dry brushes. Is anybody using it at the moment? I'm just gonna check that nobody is waiting in the in.
I'm
Yeah.
doing it
I
almost regularly when I don't forget. I'm usually trying to do the dry brushing before I take a shower.
Okay.
That's the easiest for me to remember.
Same here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. That's great. All right. So let's carry on. All right. Can you see again my screen?
Yeah.
Perfect, because I'm just moving back and forth. Okay, the other one is castor oil. And this one, it's very beneficial for those that, for example, suffer from fatty liver. So if you suffer from fatty liver, for example, this would be very beneficial. Doing it once or twice a week, especially if you have a liver condition, is very helpful. If you don't suffer from any liver condition, just once a week is enough. You see three main benefits. One is to support the liver. Apply it externally. It will stimulate the circulation. It will promote the flow of that lymphatic fluid that we want to, and it will aid with liver detoxification. But especially what is very helpful is that it reduces inflammation. This oil, if you have already done it, you see that it's very viscose, it's very creamy, right? It's very hard to wash out. It's very heavy. So, it will transfer through the skin and it will get deeper. You can add it. I find it really helpful when I'm on my period. Just because it helps as well to relieve a little bit of the pain if you suffer from any pain, or to make sure that everything goes better. So that's something that is helpful. You will see in the modules that I put there information on how to apply it. There are videos as well that you can watch, and where to buy the castor oil. And also, if you want to buy the castor oil pack, you can just add some oil in there. It's like a little wrap, and you can just put it on your belly. You can just leave it for an hour, but you can also leave it overnight. You can sleep with it as well. And you'll see, you'll go to the bathroom in the morning if you do that. The other benefit, obviously, is that it helps a lot with your skin and your hair, especially if you have irritated skin, but it will also help with your hair. If you put it on your eyebrows or in areas of your hair, scalp, that it's maybe very thin, you can put it there and it will help growing your hair a little bit thicker. And it's also very antimicrobial. So if you put in areas where you have eczema or you have, acne, it actually is quite helpful. And the other one is your digestive health. But for this, you can take it orally, but you take very tiny amount. You take like a quarter of a teaspoon. It will really help to stimulate your intestine, and it will definitely clean out any clogging that is happening in there. If you feel very constipated, it will really help if you take a tiny bit in orally. But not to take it very often, but for those situations where I really need extra help, it would be very helpful. Now,
Teresa, sorry to interrupt you. Can I ask you something? My castor oil is expired.
okay.
Is that a problem or?
It won't be a problem. I mean, I don't think it will be a problem unless you smell and it smells really rancid.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a problem. So if it doesn't smell rancid, it's okay, because
Okay.
sometimes the expiry date is not actually the
Yeah.
the date of. But I wouldn't drink it.
Okay.
What I will do is I will just use it outside, and then if you want to drink it, then buy another one.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
has to be
Thank
safe.
you.
Yeah. Okay, so those are the two things that we can do to support our phase 3 of the detoxification process, right? So we done phase 2 last week. Phase 3 is castor oil and dry brushing. That is fantastic if you want. And that's something you can do not just for these 2 weeks, but as an ongoing practice. And it can be part of your routine in the morning. I personally believe it's better in the morning because when you spend 8 or 9 hours or five, I don't know how many hours you sleep, but hopefully 7 or 8, laying down, your body is very stagnant. And when you wake up, it's very good to kind of do that dry brushing and stimulate your lymphatic system. That's why when you wake up in the morning, sometimes you feel like you have like you're swollen or you have like water, kind of like eye bags, and you feel like, you're a little bit swollen. You need to stimulate that. Another part that obviously we want to link to our detoxification this week is to look after our hormonal health and how our liver health supports your hormones. So the most important one for us is the estrogen regulation. Most of us are estrogen, how do you call it? Sorry, estrogen. Mondays. It's basically when you have more estrogen than you should. Someone remembers the word, please let me know because I just forgot. Estrogen, estrogen. It will come to me. So basically, you have more estrogen than you should. And that estrogen, I mean, estrogen is fantastic. We need it. It has connectors in every single part of our body. We need it for cardiovascular health. We need it to feel pretty. We need it to feel sexy. We need it to make sure that we don't develop chronic diseases, that we have good muscle mass. But when we have too much, then is going to make estrogen dominance, that's the word. Then it's going to create issues. It can make us more, basically, you can develop maybe more of breast cancer or other kind of cancer. It can put you on risk for chronic diseases. It can put you on risk of having, for example, thyroid issues, or feeling depression or anxiety. You might have more acne. Your period might be very painful. So getting rid of the estrogen is one of the main jobs of the liver because it metabolizes that excess estrogen and excretes. So that is something that this diet is helping you with. The other one is it helps to clear your stress hormone. So the liver also detoxifies the cortisol. Cortisol is the hormone that makes us really tense. It's the one that makes us very anxious. And so we need cortisol because without cortisol, you wouldn't wake up. So basically, the cortisol is the one that makes us wake up in the morning. Some people suffer from chronic fatigue, and it's because they don't have enough cortisol. So we need it. But when we have too much, it can lead to a lot of issues from your hormonal health, your mood, your metabolism, you name it. So we need, and also it can cause you to stop producing more cortisol, and then that's when chronic fatigue, happens. So we want to make sure the liver can do that. And the final one is one that a lot of people don't know, is that your liver helps convert the T4 thyroid hormone into the active T3. And so a lot of people that are on thyroid medication, they think that it's because they don't produce enough thyroid hormones, but sometimes it's because your liver is not activating it. And that's very hard for your doctor to know. So most likely if you go to the doctor because and he says you have a thyroid issue, it's going to give you thyroid medication. But maybe the first step for you is to ensure that your liver is working well, so it can convert the inactive thyroid hormone into active form, and therefore your thyroid issue might go away. That's something that I do with some of my clients that suffer from thyroid issues. We work on their liver health, so we can see if that will support their thyroid. So that is another thing that you are doing these 2 weeks as well for your health. And The next one, obviously, is what I wanted to talk to you was about the chocolate. So, as I said before, most chocolate brands have a very big amount of cadmium, especially cadmium is a heavy metal. It can disrupt your hormones. It can create more toxins for your liver. It can affect your neurological system, your brain health. So, we don't want to consume too much of that heavy metal. And some brands are not being very good at containing low levels of cadmium. So today I wanted to share with you the best and the worst. So these are three ones that you can buy from Singapore. Who is actually one that you can buy in cold storage. And it's very good. This one is the dark chocolate. I think it's 80%. It's fantastic. It's the only one that is salty dark chocolate. It's about 80 or 85%. It has the real salt flavor. I really like it. And this one is very, very low in cadmium. All chocolates have cadmium, but these ones are very, very little. So you can have it without, feeling you're risking your health. That one is easy to find in Singapore, just in cold storage. I'm pretty sure that probably Fair Price will have it too. And I've seen it in Little Farms and other stores. Lily's, it's one that you can buy. This one is the Cecil Extra Dark Chocolate. This one, it's very low in sugar because it uses stevia. So it's lower in calories as well. So for those that want to continue with their weight loss, this one is a very good option. This one you can buy in iHerb. And if you want to buy, I will say go now and buy it because it goes sold out very quickly because I guess a lot of people know that it's a safe brand. So definitely you may want to try. And then another one is called Montezuma's. This one is 100% cocoa. There is another brand that I'm gonna add to the I'm gonna add it because I thought that I put it here, but no, but there is another brand that actually I bought it yesterday. I'm supposed to get it tomorrow. The good thing is iHerb is actually going very quickly with the orders, so you don't have to wait too long. There is one called, oh yeah, no, this is Lily's. Maybe it's this one. No. Okay. No, not to worry. I'm gonna share with you via the chat. There is another brand that is very, very good, but at least Who and Lily's are good ones that you can buy easily from Singapore. The worst, I put here the ones that I think most people know. If you're unsure, and you buy one chocolate that you really enjoy, just send it to me. It would be good that you put it in the chat, but as public, because it will help everybody. So if you have a question about your chocolate, just let me know and I will tell you yes or no. Green and Black's organic. I remember buying this one a lot when I used to live in London. It's one of the worst, actually. I put here the worst of the worst. So very high levels of cadmium. Navitas, anything from Navitas that has or contain cacao. This one is cacao powder, but you can buy Navitas also dark chocolate or the chocolate chips. Anything from Navitas, don't get, just because it says organics, it's still very high levels of cadmium. And lint, 90%. Also an 80%. Any lint I wouldn't, just because they really are very high in cadmium. Surprisingly, one of the brands that are very good for cacao powder. So if you consume cacao powder or your kids like having chocolate milk with cacao powder, the one that was actually very safe is Nestle. So Nestle have very low levels of cadmium. So that's one that I will recommend. But again, if you want me to tell you, just put it on the chat and I will tell you if that is a safe brand or unsafe. Any questions about the chocolates? Now I'm hungry.
I have a question. How is the minimum of the cation that the chocolate need to have to know that it's good?
Yeah, I would say less than 1%. The one I think is put as milligrams, but I can put it in the chat. That information. That's a good question. I'll put it on the chat so you can see what the level of the, approved or, contain. So definitely was less than 1.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. I'll put that information in the chat as well. But feel free to ask me for specific brands if that is an issue, if you're unsure. Okay.
Teresa, would you know anything about the dark chocolate from Scoop?
No, because it's really hard to tell because it's a rebranding.
Yeah.
So it's really hard. So if you're unsure, I will go for a safe brand.
Yeah, because we use the dark chocolate chips for
Yeah.
all the homemade snacks
Yeah.
from Scoop.
Yeah.
Because I don't really find a good quality dark chocolate chips. Usually they have lots of sugar and stuff added.
I have a couple of options that are good, that are approved. So I will put them in the chat,
Okay.
so you can check them out and
Yes,
see
please.
if they're better. But with a Scoop, that's the thing, right? There are certain things that I like from Scoop, but there are other things that I don't because you feel like, oh, it's gonna be healthier, but then sometimes it's like, let me check and then look the ingredients like, oh my goodness, this is not. And with things like, cacao powder, the problem is because it's not a big brand, it's like rebranding, right? It's very hard to trace back the origin of their powder, their cocoa powder, and to know, if that area has high levels of cadmium or low levels of cadmium. But I'm gonna research a little bit on that. I'm gonna see if I can contact actually a Scoop and see if they can tell me where they get their cacao powder because just knowing where they get it, like from Peru or if it's from Sierra Leone or other countries, I can tell if it's high in cadmium or low.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
That's a good challenge for me. I like that actually. I really enjoy doing that kind of research. So,
Okay.
any other questions about the chocolate? This one is pretty good. This one is the one I'm having lately, and I'm very happy with it. It's a little bit chunkier. It's not very thin, but I like it because it takes longer to eat it. So you enjoy it for longer. So definitely recommend that one. Okay. So the meal plan that you have this week, the reason that we chose those recipes are because of, we want to continue with that liver support, but I wanted also to focus on digestion. So I included a little bit more ingredients that are probiotic rich. That's why you're going to see Greek yogurt on this week's recipes. We're going to continue with the fiber-rich foods like white beans, lentils, broccoli, cabbage, because we want to make sure that we continue that bowel regularity. The fruits are very similar to last week because they're good for your liver, but also fantastic source of insoluble fiber that helps to push everything out. We're going to continue with anti-inflammatory foods. That's why we have turmeric. That's why we have mustard and lime because they stimulate the digestive enzymes. We're also continuing with liver supportive ingredients just to support detoxification, lemons, the liver rescue smoothie, the cruciferous vegetables. We have antioxidant rich fruits to kind of neutralize the free radicals. Those are the ones that kind of oxidize our cells and not only affect our liver, but every time that our cells get oxidized, the risk of developing cancer is higher. So what we want to make sure is that we have those antioxidants that are going to neutralize those free radicals so we can actually be healthier. And then hydration and cleansing. So this week we're going to focus a lot on the hydration, because we need to do that for kidney support. And some of the overlapping benefits from the previous to here is obviously the chia pudding and the tofu quinoa bowl, the lentil and broccoli salad, the grilled cod foil packs. Those are fantastic for digestion and detoxification, and to promote gut health. So those are the reasons why we're choosing those recipes. Now, moving forward, so this week, we're going to have another 2 modules that you're going to receive. So one will happen in 2 days. Today we had one. We're going to have another module in a couple of days, and then another one the last day of the program. And then we just want to make sure that we continue. Obviously, we're not going to go to the other extreme, but what we want to make sure is that we kind of stick to certain routines and some of the things that are working well, and maintain those, as part of your regular routine. So things that I find very important, so I don't get off the wagon, and make sure that, I continue to look after my health and my liver, the rest of the year. It's the most important one is the meal plan for the week ahead. And buy liver supporting ingredients or the recipes that are part of this program, and just plan your meals with those ingredients. Don't just kind of plan foods randomly. Think about what are the liver supportive ingredients. Let me see what recipes, and I'm going to make sure that those are in my week. Double batch recipes, especially the soups. You have many soups. You can make enough for 2, 3, 4 days. Just freeze them and just have them whenever, you feel like you're not having anything to eat, or you have to think of something the last minute. Washing fruit and keep it in the fridge already washed. So it saves time, or even that, you don't want barriers. One of the reasons, there was a study quite recently here in Singapore where they put barriers on foods, and then food with no barriers. It means that it was washed, or it was prepared, or it wasn't it was on display. And when that happened, people were most likely to reach out for those foods than if it didn't happen. Like, if it wasn't washed or if it wasn't on display. And so doing that with kiwis, with apples, with blueberries, with those kind of foods that, are supporting your liver, just have them ready to consume. You see the difference. Definitely have a healthy pantry. So we talk about the chocolate, we talk about many other ingredients that, when we have them in our pantry, it will make a difference. Something that happened to me today. I had, my annual mammogram, very good, thank God. And I came home and it was late. It was like 1:30 p.m. And I didn't prepare because it took longer than expected. So I was here quite late. But I always have bean soup ready. So when I came, I was quite hungry. I just took one of the soups, and put it in my pan, and I cook it very quickly, and that was done. And I was able to eat that for lunch today instead of making something maybe that was a little bit unhealthier. So having those things prepared really help for the last minute meal. Always add veggies to every meal or food, even for breakfast. Always have fiber in your meals. And for things like smoothies, just portion them out and put them in little plastic bags, like, and keep them in the freezer already in small packs. You see how sometimes you don't feel like making anything, but you're like, oh, actually, I just have to put it in the blender and that's it. So doing that, you can have your kids to help you. It's like, hey, I want you to cut all this and then put one of each in each bag, keep them busy. after waking up, very important to always drink a glass of water or two. Your body after sleeping is super, super dehydrated. You have no idea how dehydrated it is. So please always drink at least 1 or 2 glasses of water. It can be with lemon or without lemon, but drink 2 glasses of water. And then we said about the dry brushing daily, especially after waking up. So if you do this consistently, then you're supporting your liver, throughout the year. You're not just doing it once a year. And that's it. Okay. Questions?
Um, Teresa, how about the pistachios?
Pistachios
You
are
know,
good. Yeah,
yeah.
it's any nut. The only one that I do not recommend to eat a lot and is peanuts. Just because peanuts they have a toxin that can actually, when moldy, they can develop a toxin that can be actually quite harmful for the liver. So sometimes when we buy peanuts, especially in Southeast Asia, we don't even know they're moldy because they don't really have mold. The flavor is when it changes a little bit, a little bit rancid, but they can develop a toxin that can be quite harmful. So that's the only one that I do not recommend to eat freely. Only whenever you feel like a little bit of peanut butter here and there for a recipe. But I don't buy, for example, my peanuts in large quantities. I just buy tiny bits, like literally like maybe half a cup at a time. So I don't have leftovers at home and then forget about them. So I just buy enough for that particular recipe and then, I don't keep them. I want to avoid that situation.
Any fruit that you don't recommend to eat?
Fruits all are good unless you have an issue with blood sugar levels. They are very high. Then some fruits like, for example, very ripe bananas or mango or pineapple, they can be higher in sugar. And if you want to balance your blood sugar for women, especially when we are transitioning from perimenopause, menopause, is very crucial to maintain blood sugar levels stable. Then I will probably stay with fruits like blueberries, any kind of berries, apples, pears, oranges, tangerines, cherries are fine, even grapes, kiwis. Fruits are a little bit low in the glycemic index.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to run, but I want to say that I love the tip that you said that to eat the kiwi with the skin.
Amazing,
It's
right?
delicious. I
That's
love it.
right. And it has a lot of insoluble fiber, so it's fantastic for you. Oh, I'm glad that you're doing it.
I like it. Thank you so much.
You're
Sorry,
welcome. Bye, Virginia.
bye.
Okay.
Sorry, you mean the kiwi with the skin?
Yeah, you'll be surprised on how good it is. But try to buy the golden kiwi instead of the greener one, just because,
Without the hair.
yeah, the skin is a little bit thinner. But you will be amazed on how good it is with the skin. You eat it like an apple. Try it. Just try
Okay.
it. You'll thank me. Any other
And
questions?
after these 2 weeks, if you wish to continue, do you recommend it or
The recipe,
continue with the first week meals,
yeah.
for
I
example?
mean, you can, yeah, and no problem. And the recipes that I share are recipes that can be, you can cook and make for the whole family at any time of the year. They're just very good for the liver. So it doesn't matter how you do them, how often you do them. They're gonna be great anyway. This is just like 2 weeks of very good liver supportive recipes, right? But then you can add them to your routine meal plans as you wish.
For example, you have a dinner in a
Yeah.
restaurant
Yeah.
or in a
What?
friend's house. You can't choose really what to eat.
Yeah.
next
I
day?
mean, obviously depends on the kind of restaurant, but things like a grilled meat, some fish, even in Italian restaurants, you can have the fish option. You can have some pasta, but not like a full plate of pasta, just have some pasta on the side. And then I always say just to avoid certain things like fried food is the one that I will avoid. The alcohol I will try to avoid as much as possible. Recent research came out recently, not a single drop of alcohol is good for women. Whatever alcohol we consume is because we want to and we enjoy it, but it's not good in any form. I enjoy my glass of wine, but I'm very cautious on when I have my glass of wine. And just try to avoid kind of like heavy desserts and stuff like that. Obviously, if you're eating every day, you have to be very choosy with the restaurants. If you're going out once a week, you can be a little more permissive. Remember, it's what we do most of the time. Is that 80% of the time, what really makes more of a difference that day, of eating out, for sure. So just if you're eating more than one day a week out, then just be a little bit more careful with the options of the second place. But if you're doing like once a week, you're okay. It's what you do, most of the time, what is going to make an impact. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? No?
Well, I guess if something comes up, we can always ask in the group, in the
Oh, in the chat? Yeah. Obviously, you can always ask me in the chat. I see a couple questions, or how long can we take chlorella? I say you can take it as long as you want to. Someone asked, what time can you take the castor oil? I would recommend to take it if you're going to orally consume it, just take it at night, because that way in the morning you can have a nice, bowel movement. That's it. I think those are the only questions in the chat. Anyway, you can still ask me in the chat if you have questions. I'm going to be available all week for anything you need. I'm going to be posting on the chat information about the dark chocolate, so you can see all the other brands that I mentioned you can buy. Please let me know if you want me to tell you about any specific chocolate brand, or if it's chocolate chips or cocoa powder, I can do that too. And I will be posting this presentation and the recording as well, so you have them. And I think that's it. I think you had enough of me for today.
Thank you then.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, ladies. So have a lovely evening.
You too.
Let's continue with the good work this week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Teresa. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.